Hello, my name is Duncan and welcome to Back Away from the Donkey or Bath Books. If you hear any weird whining, it's because I've shut my dogs out and one of them wants to come in because they were being a bit of a pain. But yeah, as you can see, it's cold here at 59 degrees north. Okay, maybe it's not that cold inside this house and I'm getting a bit warm, but it's cold. But hey, we'll see how we go. So this is my Bookmas videos. I think it's day 10. I can't remember the date. But also it's my pick and mix video, which is a bit of everything. What I read last week and what have you, and what I'm maybe reading and any pickups or anything like that. But yeah, so the past week I've not managed to read huge amounts. I've been a very busy week. I've not even actually finished a book, but I'm partly one. As you may have seen last week, I was doing a bit of a reread of some Raymond Feist and On Crondor the Betrayal, which I am about halfway through, I think, at the moment. They're 250 pages, which I'm really enjoying rereading that one. And I am doing a read of Great Expectations as well, which I like to read around about Christmas. Good bit of Dickens. That one I'm only about 50 pages in because for some reason I've just not picked it up that much. But hopefully get really back into that this week. I've also got a book of short stories which is on my Kindle, which I've started, Nova Hellas, which is Greek short stories. I'm not sure how far I'm in on that, but they're quite enjoyable, and I will be doing a thing on that for the new year to talk about it, because you don't hear Greek short stories very often. I was going to just say I've got a couple of bits to show you, but I was just going to say for my videos coming up to Christmas, I am next week going to do a video of my top 10 reads of the past year. So I've read I think around about 60 books this year, but I'm going to give you, like, not a top 10 but 10 books, my 10 favourite new things to me that I've read in the past year. And then also following that I will do one with the 10 rereads, because I reread a lot. Probably at least 50-60% of my reading is rereading, because I think everybody should reread. So I'm going to do those couple of videos. Going up to Christmas, I am probably, I can't say for definite, not going to do any sort of deep dives into certain things, into like individual books or authors, because just as run up Christmas everybody's busy, and me having time to actually do that could be pushing it. But then those will come in the new year. It's my plan, because I'm going to enjoy myself. And at the moment the plan is to stop on my last day of Bookmas, which will be Christmas Eve, I've decided, and then probably won't do another video till after Hogmanay, but I may do one in between if I get bored, because I've got some other things I want to do, and obviously spend time with my wife and that. I recommend that there's a playlist below there, so if you want to do the Bookmas playlist, see what I've been up to the past week, that's great. And I think that's about it for sort of weird things like that. So if you saw my video the other day about the print my friend sent me, awesome 2018 print, I also had another parcel from him this day. As much as these stuff coming at Christmas, they're not really sort of Christmas presents, because we send each other little things throughout the year and what have you. So I was allowed to, these weren't wrapped up as Christmas presents, but he sent some little bits for me, because he knows what I'm like. He actually sent the original 2018 issue that poster was from. As you can see, the paper that they printed 2018 on there was horrific. And it's something good. If I go to, this is the spread that print was taken from, and what I discovered that he did was he actually scanned it in and colorized it himself, and he did such a stunning job. It looks like original color panels. And this issue is from August 1981. But the other thing it's got in it, it's got some, I've got a few of these because I brought them when they originally came out. I've lost many of my issues over the years, but it's got, my thing about the rollerball the other week, it's got the Mean Arena, which was almost like a rollerball-esque rip-off type thing, almost like a street football thing. And actually, if you live where I live, we have what is known as a Kirkwall Bar, which is a street football game, which basically on Christmas and New Year, two teams of inanimate numbers play a game of street football with technically no rules through the streets of our town. If you want to look it up, it's called the Kirkwall Bar. But yes, and that reminds me of that. So he sent me that, and he also, the man knows me too well, sent me this fantastic Buck Rogers annual from 1981. It's from a TV series, but it's obviously got, and in here is that one. There's 2 or 3 stories. The first one looks like from, I'm wondering if this is from the original comic strip, because the original Buck Rogers, I Like Buck Rogers, was created by Philip Nolan in 1928, and he was a comic strip through the newspapers for years. Yes, there's the old serials of it as well, and I'm wondering if these are that, but I can't. This actual annual's got very little information, but you've got those pictures, and then in the back of it, you've got what is a story from obviously in the 25th century TV series. And I think, yes, it seems that that's the only story from the 25th century series, because you've got 2 stories, The Space Slavers and The Raised in Space, which are of this old style comic strip you see like that. And you've got the new one, is called The Missing Element. I need to do some research into this. Buck Rogers is a really interesting character. He developed a lot throughout the years, and in some ways I'm amazed that nobody's tried to do a sort of rebooting with him. In the 90s there was a load of novels, because TSR bizarrely got hold of the rights of, TSR who owned Dungeons and Dragons got hold of the rights and did a load of stuff with it. I've got some of the books there. I'm going to have to do a video on it one day, but it's quite history. But yeah, that annual is fantastic. What else he sent me was another annual, but Battle of the Planets. Battle of the Planets was a Japanese drawn animation series, but they'd whacked in a English element in it. So they'd taken an original Japanese cartoon and then whacked their own little bit of it, of Seven's Arc 7, who I don't know if he's in this, and obviously put their own voices to it. Let me find, and this is the annual for it. Yeah, Seven's Arc 7 is him, if you can see that, and he was put in there to make this more for the Western market. But this is, it's pretty basic drawing and stuff, but I love these sort of things, so I'll be reading those over the next few days. And I'm trying to find out anywhere if we've got who actually wrote the stories or who actually did the art. I can't find it anywhere. It may be in here somewhere, but I've got the DVDs of the TV series as well, so I might actually have to do a little bit on there. But I never knew this existed. So yeah, it's the Battle of the Planets. For the geekiness like me, that's stunning. Seven's Arc 7. There he is, and Rover, his dog. And I said that was created, so you had this animation, all these sort of characters here were originally Japanese created. You can tell style-wise. And then they sort of brought the rights to it and brought it over to Western audiences, and then put this in as like a joining bit. And then they re-recorded all the voices and things. But as a kid, I loved it. And as I said, I've got copies of it and I still find enjoy it. But if you want to see what it's like, search on YouTube for Battle of the Planets. There's quite a few bits of clips of it around. And the third thing he sent me was Grant Morrison, and drawn by Frank Whitley. And this is called WE3W. I know nothing about this, but it looks like, I'll show you, it is Grant Morrison, great writer, wrote a lot for 2000 AD, which I showed you earlier, done lots of stuff for Marvel and DC in between as well. but it looks to be about animals that are given cybernetic implants and used for stuff, used for like military purposes. But the artwork is great. I'm going to have to read this quite soon, I think. But yeah, I'm very lucky to have a friend like this who sent me such great little bits there. And especially when I'll link below to the 2000 AD, the poster that he made for me. And it's fantastic what he did. And I've had 2 other arrivals this week. And that is Bob Shaw. Bob Shaw is highly underrated as a writer as far as modern writer. I think Aretha Stars maybe in Sci-Fi Masterworks. He, Northern Irish writer. And I've got the first 2 books here of the Ragged Astronauts. The 3rd one is on its way. And that's the Ragged Astronauts there. And this is basically, I've been wanting to read this for years. This is basically 2 planets really, really close together, and one of them is being attacked by these birds, and they want, one's called land and one's called overland, and basically the population wants to move from one planet to the other. The planets are so close that they can do it by balloon, so they do it by balloon, and I just think it's an incredible idea. And I'll read the back of the book for you. It says, land and overland, twin worlds a few thousand miles apart. On land, humanity faces a threat to its very survival. An airborne species, the plethora, has declared war on humankind and is actively hunting for victims. The only hope lies in migration through space to overland by balloon. I'm really quite excited about these. I know I've got a Kenneth Beaumont book I want to read next, but now I might dip into those, but who knows, because I change my mind frequently. So yeah, so those are a few things for day 10 of my Bookmas. And I said I was just really lucky to have a friend like that who just sent me such wonderful things. I might actually do a complete dive into that issue of 2000 AD at some point. Might be early next year, might be before Christmas, I don't know. It's what time I have to do videos and stuff before Christmas. Because there's a few things I want to do, and I said I just hope you're keeping well, and I'm going to have to leave you now because I'm boiling to death in this hat and this scarf. And yeah, check out the rest of my videos. Why don't you have a look at anything you see there, and I will speak to you all very soon. Bye-bye.